what are we gonna change for the anime?
You don't. Why would you want to do that?
Make it better. It's not our job to make it better. Name one time where deviating from the manga ever resulted in a positive reaction in the history of this shit. Okay, let's remove the first 2 arcs in the manga out of the anime. Don't even show it.
What was that? What the fuck was that? What is wrong with these niggas? I just got finished. Well, I didn't get finished. I watched up to episode 8 of season 2 of The Promised Neverland, and I hadn't heard good things about it. It was the main reason why I waited so long before watching it now, because I literally just spent a good portion of today just binging it until episode 8. Even though I didn't hear good things about it, it still did not prepare me for the bullshit that I just witnessed. Like, I heard that season 2 was trash, and I heard that they decided to veer away from the manga. Look, I understand that veering away from the manga isn't automatically bad. I'm not one of those people that's gonna automatically hate it if it veers away from the manga. But the trend, the pattern, the fact is that when an anime does veer away from the manga, 9 times out of 10 it's trash. 9 times out of 10 they do that shit entirely wrong. 9 times out of 10 they fuck up a good thing. And I was not prepared. I was not prepared, man. Like, where the fuck is Yugo? I was watching this season, and I was like, where's Yugo? Okay, they've been in the shelter for a little bit. Where's Yugo? What happened to Yugo? Like, that was just running through my head until like episode fucking 4, when the Ratari clan attacked the shelter. And that's when it was solidified for me that they skipped the entire Goldie Pond arc. That's like the second best arc of the entire series. For some people, it's the best arc. For me, the first arc is the best arc. There's just way too much tension and psychological drama in that. But close second is Goldie Pond. And they just skipped the entire thing. They skipped like 2 arcs. like they got to that shelter so fast and then left that shelter so fast. I was like, what was the point of even having the shelter? What's the point of that? Okay, let me back up. Let me back up for some of the people who, I don't know, may not have watched season 2 yet, or may not have read the manga. They may not know what I'm talking about. Okay. So, season 2 starts off, pretty much like the manga starts off after they flee from Gracefield. They're in the woods. They get attacked by a giant wild demon lizard thing. They split up. Ray catches the attention of the demon lizard thing. The demon lizard thing gets killed by the pursuers, the people that were chasing them from Gracefield. So Ray gets, cornered by the people pursuing them, and he gets saved by Sanju. And the other kids, because, he got split up from the other kids, they get saved by Mujika. And then they get taken to their Mujika and Sanju's little hideout, and they inform them of what the world is. Gives them the backstory of the lore that they're on Earth, but Earth is split into 2 worlds, the demon world and the human world, and this happened like 1,000 years ago. And they also kind of train them a little bit. They, give them tips on what to eat, how to get food and water, give them a little bit of training on using a bow and arrow, and then they send them back out in the wild so they can find the shelter, because that's what they're looking for, the shelter. B06-32, I think that's what the coordinates are. And all of that so far is pretty much how the manga is. The first 3 episodes more or less pretty much follow the manga. I do feel like the anime is a lot more boring, because I remember watching those first 3 episodes. I was waiting for something more to happen, because it felt like it was lollygagging a little bit. The first 3 episodes weren't really that exciting. Pretty much everything went to shit starting episode 4. Because episode 4, Yeah, it's either the end of episode 3 and the beginning of episode 4 is when they find the shelter, the hideout. They find the hideout, they find all the information about the hideout and all the amenities and, you know, that they can bring the other kids to this hideout. And the entire time, I'm waiting for them to meet Jugo. Because they meet Jugo almost immediately after coming into the hideout. Because Jugo is living in there too. But watching the anime, they find the hideout and they're in there for a little while. So I'm just waiting on Jugo. I'm waiting on Jugo. Then like 2 months pass and they're in the hideout. I'm like, okay, maybe the anime is a little different and Yugo's just been hiding in the hideout for a couple of months and then they're gonna see him. More time passes, still nothing. Still no Yugo. So now I'm thinking, okay, maybe Yugo being in the hideout isn't a thing at all. This is because I know that they're veering away from the manga, so I just assumed that, okay, Yugo being in the hideout is not a thing in the anime. They're gonna meet Yugo at Goldie Pond. That's what I'm thinking. That, okay, Yugo and the rest of the other escapees from years ago, they're gonna meet all of them together at Goldie Pond. I don't know how they're gonna work that in or how they're gonna finesse that, but that's probably what they're doing. That's what makes sense, right? Then, like at the end of episode 4, the Ratchery clan attacks their shelter. And I'm like, wait, whoa, hold up. Where the fuck these niggas come from? Like, and then I'm double taken aback because now I gotta imagine this as somebody who's not read the manga. Like somebody who's not read the manga, like they're not even gonna know who these people are. Like who are these people in this like Black Ops SWAT team gear that's raiding the shelter? Like I don't think they're gonna immediately click that it's the Ratchery clan because the Ratchery clan is only mentioned once in the anime. When they first find the shelter and they get that phone recording from William Minerva, and when Minerva says it's part of the Ratchery clan. That's the only time they mention the Ratchery clan. So people who didn't read the manga, I'm thinking like they probably don't even know what the fuck is going on right now. Cause how are they supposed to connect that one line to equal that the people attacking right now from the Ratchery clan? Cause we know they're not demons, they're humans. Like how are they supposed to connect that? And how the fuck did they find them? How did the Ratchery clan find the shelter? That is never explained. In the manga, the Ratchery clan doesn't find the shelter till after the Goldie Pond arc. So when the Ratchery clan finds the shelter and attacks, that's when it hits me like a fucking brick. Wait, hold up. Are we just not doing the Goldie Pond arc? Like, is that not a thing? Are we not doing that? Huh? What? I was amazed. Cause I went from wondering where the fuck is Yugo to okay, the anime doesn't follow the manga. They're probably gonna meet Yugo at Goldie Pond. To wait, they're not doing Goldie Pond at all. Whose idea was this? Who sat in a board meeting and just decided to just eliminate one of the best arcs? Just eliminate that bitch. Just throw that motherfucker away. Kobe, put that nigga in the trash. Like, whose idea was that? Who? Bro, that shit like irked me so much. So much. And it's extra annoying because the anime could have redeemed the manga. Because everybody knows that the Promised Neverland started off as a masterpiece, but then fell off in terms of quality. To me, it's still probably gonna be in my top 10 because those first couple arcs are like some of my favorite things I've ever read in my life. And then the overarching lore and the overarching world is just so cool to me, and the entire premise is still so cool to me that it's still gonna be in my top 10 manga of all time. But everybody knows, everybody can admit that it started off amazing, and then the quality it fell off. And the anime was pretty much Promised Neverland's second chance. It was. The Promised Neverland had a second chance. So when it was, announced that it was gonna veer away from the manga, that wasn't immediately bad. because not everybody liked how the manga ended anyway. So if they were just gonna change it a little bit to make it better, that's fine. But no, they literally just fucking skipped 2 whole arcs. I was so looking forward to watching the Goldie Pond arc be animated. Like the fight between the nobles and the kids being hunted at Goldie Pond is some of the coolest shit I've ever seen in manga/anime. It was so cool. And I really wanted to see how they would portray Louisvis, however you say his name. I wanted to see how they would portray Louisvis, that fucking psychotic, demented bastard. I wanted to see how they would portray him. And it's not like that arc is perfect or flawless. You know, it still has its faults. It introduces a whole bunch of characters in that arc, and most of them you don't care about because you don't know enough about them. But the situations are still dramatic enough, tense enough, and sad enough that you do feel something when people die. Because people die in this Goldie Pond arc. And in the anime thus far, nobody has died. How do they have 15 young ass kids in the fucking wilderness in a world full of demons and not a single person has died? How? That makes it feel so unbelievable and convenient. At least in the manga, when the Goldie Pond arc starts, niggas is dropping like flies. Like they let you know this world ain't for the faint of heart. Niggas is dead. Niggas is slumped. Niggas is sent to the shadow realm, my nigga. But you get none of that in the anime. Everybody's alive. Everybody's alive. So like they skipped the Goldie Pond arc, and I believe there was one more arc after that. Because after the Ratchet Clan finds the shelter, the Ratchet Clan people are then like killed. Because, you know, everybody ran to the woods and the Ratchet Clan people are killed by another giant lizard demon thing. And then the next episode, episode 5, has a time skip for a year. And you know what you see? You see the scene that's in the manga where Emma, Ray, and Dawn and Gilda are in the demon village, the demon town, the demon marketplace, but they're disguised as demons. That's my daughter. She's having a good old time. Emma, Ray, Dawn, and Gilda are in the demon marketplace, demon town, demon village, but they're disguised as demon and they're masking their scent, you know, in a demon scent. That scene doesn't happen till way later in the manga. Like much later. Before you see that scene, you learn about what's happening with Lambda. You get more info on what is going on with the various different farms in this fucking entire, you know, societal structure. They're in the marketplace, in the demon village. They get found out because for some dumbass reason they decide to bring the 2 youngest and most boisterous and loud kids with them on this mission that takes quietness, composure, and secrecy. They bring along the 2 most hyperactive ADHD ass boys with them. Why? I don't know. And they get found out by these 2 demons, but then they get saved. Who did they get saved by? This is a spoiler. So, I mean, I'm already assuming if you're clicking on this, you either don't care about spoilers, or you've already read the manga or watched the anime. But if you're in neither of those 2 camps, this is a spoiler, so be warned. But in episode 5, you know who they find? Norman. They find Norman. 5 episodes into the second season. 5 episodes. They meet back up with Norman. Then Norman died like what, episode 11 or 12 in the first season. So literally like what, 5, 6, 7 episodes later they reunited with Norman. Like what type of pacing is that? Like what? Huh? Who is writing this, man? Who came up with this? Why are y'all rushing this? Like I understand why they rushed the manga, cause I believe Shueisha was rushing the author to complete it, so that's why the ending of the Promised Neverland manga was rushed and some things are skipped over. But we're only on the second season of the anime. Why are you skipping 2 whole arcs? Why? And then when Norman comes back, Norman pretty much just exposition dumps everything that happened in that 1 year gap that in the manga you were actually able to see unfold. He tells you that he wasn't killed, he was sent to a different farm, a research lab farm called Lambda, where they're doing experiments on kids and whatnot to try to create the most, high quality and efficient grade of meat and yada yada yada, all this other stuff. And apparently Norman has like this drug that'll kill demons, that'll degenerate them. Just out the blue, like a Deus Ex Machina, just out the blue. Okay, I got this medicine too. Like in the manga, you actually see all this happen. Like in the manga, they give you a long time before you even see Norman. So they let you think that Norman is actually dead. They give you a long time before you see Norman in the manga. And when you finally see Norman, is when the reader does. Like the other kids still don't know Norman is alive. They don't know Norman is alive for a long time, while the readers know Norman is alive because they give us little glimpses of him in Lambda, then him breaking out of Lambda, and then breaking out the other humans from the mass production plants, and then having the help of Zazie and Sislo and the other two, I can't remember their names, and all this other stuff. They get the help from them, and I just realized that one human that was being raised by the demon father, that's not a thing. I'm pretty sure in the manga we would have saw her by now. That entire thing isn't a thing. That entire like fortress in the trees, that's like society in the fortress in the trees. That's not a thing. Like there's so much information they just skipped over. And I do not understand why they did that. I really tried hard to understand the logic, to understand why a director or executive, whoever made this decision, would decide to skip one of the most favorite arcs, and then also skip over chapters upon chapters of information just to rush towards the end. After the first season was hailed as like a masterpiece, both the first arc and the first season are masterpieces. But then season 2, it's a fucking train wreck. Like what? I don't understand the thought process at all. It's a good thing I read the manga though. See, this is just another point in my favor in that video I made why manga is better than anime. I'm happy that I read the fucking manga. You anime only niggas, I'm sorry. I feel for you. But that's it for my rant. Man. I don't got nothing else to say. Read the manga. The anime is trash. The manga does lose quality by the end of it, but I still feel like it's definitely worth the read. Read the manga. Don't bother with the anime. Watch the first season, I should say. Watch season 1 of the anime. Let's all just pretend that there is no season 2, that Promised Neverland was just one of those animes that only had 1 season for whatever reason. But that's it for my rants. For those who don't know, my name is Teray. I started this channel like a few months ago, maybe like 5-6 months ago, something like that. I try to upload as consistently as I can. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, comment about how trash this season has been. Or if you like this season for whatever reason, you're wrong, but hey, go ahead and let me know why you liked it for whatever reason. Promised Neverland season 2 is trash. And that's all I gotta say about it. I'll see y'all later, man.